Hey everyone, I'm Garrison and welcome back to the channel. So today I'll be doing my first listen / review to Lightsum's first single album called Make a Wish. Now this is huge. This is what I've been waiting for. How would a Lightsum B-side go? I mean, I feel like that's usually the case when it comes to these new groups. I mean, like, sure, their title tracks hit, or maybe not even hit, but how do their B-sides go at the end of the day? What kind of genres they're gonna mess with? What kind of genres or elements that Lightsum's messing with, and who is behind the scenes working with them hand in hand. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names based on the track listing and who's credited for these particular two B-sides, U-Jam and Popcorn here. Unfortunately, there are no lyric videos in circulation right now, so I'm gonna try to play things by ear, and I'm gonna have to read beyond the lines for this particular review and first listen to their first single album, Make a Wish. So with that being said, let's just get into it, shall we? Alright, so this first B-side is called U-Jam with a comma for you. Jam. Now I'm seeing a familiar production team here known as Full Bloom. Now if y'all not familiar with Full Bloom, if I recall correctly, consists of Gloryface, Jinri, and Yuka. Now, they have worked with huge artists in the past before, but most heavily and specifically with Wooju Sonya for the likes of La La Love, for the likes of Last Dance, so on and so forth. And I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to work with Wooju Sonya, whether it's title tracks or B-sides. They have worked with As One as well for the likes of Didi Dance or Dada Dance, that whole Universe collab, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that Universe collab. They have worked with Infinites, Begin Again, with Lovelies, with Golden Child. The list really goes on for Full Bloom. So I'm quite familiar with their sort of production style per se, but what they're truly known for is how they come through with amazing pop melodies. They can really do justice when it comes to bringing pop melodies at the end of the day, but they really mess with different genres for certain artists out there. But let's just get into U-Jam now. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Wait a second. Did we just kicked it off with the chorus into verse 1? What a jam so far. This must be the pre-chorus. Ooh, the ticking there. Electric drums. Woo. I love the driving beat to this song. The electric drums. The synthesizers done, how the synthesizers were done in this, but okay, this is verse 2. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. That was cool. That was dope. They use like various kinds of drums in this, I've got to admit. Sure, some 808 claps. This phenomenon, my heart skipped a beat. Oh, that is catchy. It really gives me like I don't know how to explain it, like cyberpunk vibes. Like the theme of it. Ooh, little instrumental break. Oh. Woo. I could totally see a choreo for this song. Like a nice dance to it. Oh, and that nice outro there. I don't wanna no jam. Okay. What a way to kick off this first listen, I've got to admit. Okay, like I said, how is a Lightsum B-side gonna go? And it seems like they've shown a new side to themselves for this. Okay, for those who saw my review and reaction to their title track, Vivace, right? I said there was in between, like sort of balancing of in between of showcasing the vocals and then of course chanting going along. And then some of y'all may know I don't always mess with chanting in the songs, especially when they're heavily done. This case, for you, Jam, it takes that route more so heavily, but I mess with this. Believe it or not, with the chanting, but more so of the overall arrangement to the song and how certain sections are done with certain instruments and elements in this song. And now, despite not having the exact, like, not exact, but like the rough English color-coded lyrics, the translation for this song, I sort of get what Lightsum's putting down with Full Bloom here, and I think that's also thanks to just seeing just the regular lyrics on my side screen here, how it really kicks off. I think why I love this song arrangement wise, attitude wise, production wise, is really honestly how it kicks off. It doesn't take time to really kick off. It's not like it's building and building up for a moment. It's just like a full-on, not even cruise control. It's like we're hitting like full speed in a car or something like that. Like, this would be so cool to listen to on a late night drive or something like that. But like I said, sort of giving them cyberpunk, very futuristic vibe to it, and I think that's probably a good part of why, if I recall correctly, like Full Bloom has worked with SM artists before or not, but either way, like how explosive this song is reminds me of what Full Bloom does for other artists that they've worked with as well. So I think this song sits for me. It's not like a particular B-side by any means that blows my mind to the point where I'm like, this should have been a title track. But I think this sticks, and it could be one of those promotional B-sides similar to what ITZY has done with Loco and Swipe. Like, this would be the Swipe to Lightsum, you know what I'm saying? U-Jam would work. I could see a whole different, like, get-up going on in terms of styling, you know, outfits and everything, and also, like, the choreo that may be attached to this for promotions or even an MV, the matter of fact. But we're gonna have to get back and listen to this song again so I could try to identify more elements in this song and how everything was done. But right away, starting from the beginning here, because this is important right here. Sure, it's like it's setting the tone right here, and just It doesn't start immediately, but I'm like, okay. Sort of these like stomping, I wouldn't say glitchy, but like stomping, I would say stomping, muted sounds going on with the bass or some sort of drum. That's what I was saying. I'm hearing various drums in this, like regular drums, snare drums. I'm also hearing electric drums used in this, which is pretty cool, I've got to admit. So immediately we get hit with pretty much the chorus, everyone. I'm like, what? This is what I mean why it didn't take time to kick off. Like, sure, it's setting the tone at the beginning with some of the instrumental, no vocals at all. I like this phenomenon. My heart skipped the beat. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. The chorus is so engraved in my mind with the driving beat, everyone, and I think that's due to the fact of, I think it is Gloryface who tends to work on the lyrics from Full Bloom, because they have separate individuals doing things such as lyrics, you know, one being a lyricist, one of them doing the production end, one of them doing the arranging and mastering end. But how this was done in terms of lyrics, there was a right amount of syllables on the beat, and I loved the amount of syllables they delivered to the point where it makes this chorus very catchy, extremely catchy, and memorable, and that's what I like about it. This is so good. How it doesn't take time to kick up. Na 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 na. I like this phenomena. My heart skipped a beat. I'm like, what? This is the chorus, and then verse 1 here. Oof, I really love how it does sort of give me a bit of that very classy, slick, smooth delivery in some moments of Vivace. This is what I'm saying. It's like more so heavy in like the chanting area, right? And more of the attitude, sassy area per se. I think that is the word. I can't really think of another word right now or an adjective to describe it, but that's what I'm feeling here immediately right away with the chorus into verse 1 right here. Some vocal moments in this, which you gotta appreciate. I think the pre-chorus works. Some electronic elements, but I think what really drives this is like that constant going electric drum work with the synthesizers. They're not done in a bright manner, not so like heavily in a dark kind of manner, just making it very upbeat with it. A little bit distorting of the bass that I'm noticing here in some moments. Okay, verse 2. Oh, I just love the delivery of Trouble. I said never. Some sort of percussion instrument in the back there, like a xylophone or a muted xylophone or something like that. It's not that heavily apparent, but it's just there in the background to add more depth and texture to this moment in the song with verse 2, the I'm OKO. And then the pause. And this is where it's like most important, apparent, not important, but most apparent is the pre-chorus with the snare drums in the back and not too loud and upfront in the song. Yep, now these snare drums, 808 claps. Okay, yeah, there's some elements that I'm discovering now. The distorted bass most heavily. Do 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 do. It's phenomena. My heart skipped a beat. What a jam! What a jammer! This is most apparent with that percussion instrument. With this instrumental break into the bridge. Oh, yeah. See, this is what I was saying. For those who can recall what I said in my review to Vivace, this is what I felt about Lightsum's bridges, and I think their bridges tend to stand out to me. This bridge, how they introduced you hear that a little bit of psychedelic guitar, like where did that come from? Like who invited you to the club? It just came in and it's just there in the back. Yeah, that bass guitar, that psychedelic guitar, I mean. This really shows more so of a mature side per se. Lightsum, but not too heavily. Woo! Phenomenon. Oh, I just love. That's so satisfying how they deliver the phenomenon. And like I said, great outro. I don't wanna no jam. How it kicks off, like usually you have this one-liner of I don't wanna no jam, like in the intro and outro, but we get hit with the chorus right away, the first chorus. I like this phenomenon, my hearts get beat, da 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 you jam. I really like how this is like quite different from what I heard, even though, I mean, we've heard chanting things before. I like how this is a brand new side to Lightsum that we get to hear, but there are some things that are starting to solidify my positions and opinions of what truly makes Lightsum, and whether it is the sort of chanting area, or how they can be, actually now I think of it, how they can just be so flexible, whether they want to take like the chanting route or the full-on like vocal route with Nayoung and such. They can really do it, and especially with their rappers, the likes of Sangha and Jian. But what makes it more apparent now is definitely the bridges with You Jam. Now, third song where I thought the bridge was done really well, introducing new instruments and elements during the bridge, and the way they did a slight pause there before the bridge, the instrumental break, was really nice at the same time. But yeah, let's just get into the next B-side now. So this final B-side is called Popcorn. Now, I'm seeing the likes of Joe Lawrence, the likes of Stephen Lee as well, two of the others taking part on this production song wise. Now, I don't know if it's a coincidence or what, because I've seen Full Bloom, that production team. I've seen Stephen Lee, Joe Lawrence work together. I think not with exactly the same amount of people and the same people per se, but they both of that production team and these individuals, Stephen Lee, Joe Lawrence, have worked on the B-sides for the Kiss Kicks first single album from Wiki Mickey. That single album, that first single album, I could remember like no tomorrow, and it's just really due to the title track of that. It was when Wiki Mickey released Crush, one of my favorite title tracks coming from Wiki Mickey's. But I just wanted to point that out because that was pretty cool, of some sort of coincidence going on there. But yeah, they have worked with Wiki Mickey, they've worked with other significant artists as well, but Jo Yoo Kyung Jo Kyung. If y'all not familiar with the lyricist Jo Kyung has worked with huge artists. I'm talking about Hot Sauce as of recently with NCT Dream, various NCT tracks in terms of lyrics, various SM artists, and has also worked on Be Honest, Universe, lyrics wise, coming from Luna at the same time. So I'm sure the lyrics are great for this song. I just don't know how this song's gonna go in musical direction and soundscape wise. So let's just get into it. Whoa. The left, right. Okay, this one, not starting off with the chorus. Oh. Wow. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. Because this got me reminiscent a bit of like 2015, 2016 songs. And I'll explain why later. Oh! Love the bright, preppy synths in here. So bright sounding, but most importantly, I love how this showcases their vocals really well. Okay, back to the snare drums. Woo. Ooh, the chimes there, the transition into... Oh. Wait a second. Love the tempo to the song as well. But I can't believe what I'm hearing right now in terms of the mixture of instruments and elements in this. Oh. Oh my. Woo. Wow, what a final chorus. Woo. Wow, what a song, everyone. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that this is a B-side? This could be easily promoted on the side with Vivace, or even the matter of fact be the title track for the comeback. Where do I even begin with this song, everyone? Popcorn. I feel like it got me exactly reminiscent back on their debut. What I initially and truly loved about Lightsum is how Popcorn provides, just sets, actually I should say, sets up Lightsum so well in a way where their vocals are the focal point in the song, their vocals and voices, everyone. And I think that is huge. I feel like this should be exactly what Lightsum should continue to do so with various genres, and it doesn't have to be the same way in terms of arrangement. But yeah, how this song showcases their vocals is so beautiful. And there are times where I can't emphasize this enough, like the likes of these other new groups, likes of Pixie that I was mentioning, Hot Issue, likes of Purple Kiss. I've always said how it's like, wow, I love how Purple Kiss, how they utilize their vocals in certain songs, their skill sets and such. Oh, wow. I'm starting to dig Hot Issue now as of recently of how their vocals and members are being utilized, like their talents, talent trees and stuff like that, into their songs. And also, the likes of Pixie as of recently with Addicted, how their talents are utilizing that, but more so in performance heavy wise, right? And I feel like this should be the route for Lightsum heavily. How they use their vocals, be more of a vocal heavy girl group, but can still stick with like the likes of the synchronized choreo of Vivace, you know what I'm saying? And maybe do continue like some sort of concept like Vivace, not necessarily, but yeah, how their vocals are utilizing this and how their voices are utilizing this was so incredible. But on the production end of this, what makes the song that mind-blowing is how everything's arranged, number one, right? How everything is arranged, and number two, the nuances. Now, some of y'all may be laughing right now as I say nuances a lot, but this is the true definition of nuances right here, okay? When we got caught off, remember when we got caught off with their first track, You Jam? It was chorus, then verse 1. In Popcorn, we got intro, verse 1. Oh, no, we're not going to hit you with a chorus yet. We're going to hit you with a second verse. Then we're going to hit you with the pre-chorus. Then we're going to hit you with the chorus. Like, whoa, I love how it was building up and building up. Sort of like popcorn when it is being cooked, you know what I'm saying? It takes time to pop. And that emotional release in the chorus, that the na-na-na, pop like popcorn. The ad-libs tied along to popcorn as well. The ad-lib there. The ad-libs before that, like in verse 1. Incredible. Chef's kiss, everyone. Chef's kiss. Nuances, a part of that is how everything is arranged, how the ad-libs are done in this, which member comes after another member, how they play off of each other. The song is quite bright sounding, yet playful at the same time. And also, I've got to admit, the elements and instruments that are introduced in this, like, oh, okay, sure, you have the snare drums, the left-right marching sort of army get up with it. I mean, if you have something left, right, of course you need that snare drum in the mix. But I'm hearing other instruments and elements where I can't even believe my ears at the same time. And I think what pushes that is definitely the percussion instruments. Remember when I heard the chimes transitioning into like, wait, what section is this? That's what I was saying. Intro, verse 1, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus. Oh my goodness, everyone. This was a 10 out of 10 popcorn right here, everyone. And I'm going to have to dive right immediately back into the song before I wrap things up here because I'm on crunch time at the same time. I'm doing this before I head to a night class here. So right, left, right. And I feel like this has a good ebb and flow of like attitude and what they were trying to do with Vivace, and then it has its vocal like selling point back on Vanilla, right? It's almost like the older sister per se, I think is a good way to put it, to Vanilla. You got Vanilla, then you got Popcorn. what is next, you know, what is the final like treat or snack next from Lightsum. And this is okay, I almost forgot. This moment in the song with intro and verse 1, is it just me, or this got me reminiscent of like the 2015, 2016 specifically days? I'm talking back in the day when we had an incredible girl group called FX. When they came through with certain songs that had these electronic elements and like EDM elements in their song, they were really game changing. But unfortunately, SM didn't like continue things, and SM just, I don't know what was wrong with SM with FX, you know, and all, but it got me reminiscent of groups like that. Even how like I think even beyond the girl group FX, even some boy groups coming from that era, I've got to admit, hearing these certain elements in here was a great start to the song. Yeah, even a little bit some like Girls' Generation, but not exactly like their title tracks. Do, do, do. And the vocal layering in this song, so good right here. The trouble now, oh my goodness. It's sort of like what would like Little Mix would do, that pop girl group. Da-da-da-da. Oh, da-da-da-da. And then the chimes, oh my goodness. This transition between verse 2 and the pre-chorus was just so beautiful, almost dreamlike, I think is the right adjective to describe this moment. Song in some cases is very dreamlike and magical. I think magical is the more correct word. And I could exactly hear who is who, like who's singing their parts. Like popcorn. So light with it in terms of delivery. Even though there's like these electronic elements being twisted in the mix, you can easily listen to this song as it continues and continues. It's not like it's a grower upon first listen or upon various listens, but it's just so easy to listen to, even though it has those sounds in the constant mix. Take your light. The lollipop, yeah. Verse 3. Yes. I love the brass sounds done in this song. Snare drums. Love the claps in this as well. Like the stomping claps. Oh my goodness. As I'm hearing this upon second listen, I was gonna say this pre-chorus, right? The second pre-chorus here. I just noticed string-like synthesizers in here. You hear these strings? Da, 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 da. But that wasn't the main thing that I was shocked about, because the previous pre-chorus, we didn't have the same line here with the flavor line. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? Is this another verse or something? No, turns out it is a slightly switched up pre-chorus, the second go around before they hit us with the take your light, this other chorus here. But now that I'm noticing, oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to continue to keep playing this. popcorn. The first chorus was not hit with like take your like, make it pop. Take your like, make it pop, 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 pop like popcorn. No, it was more so like na 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 na. And it wasn't way until later we heard that take your light, make it pop. Pop, pop, pop like popcorn. Oh my goodness. This is what I'm saying about the nuances, the switch ups in this song. This song seems very simple upon the surface level, yet quite intricate with it. In terms of the lines and the verses in the song. Bridge. Oh, this breakdown. Love the bass here. Not too heavy with the bass. Woo. That rhyme scheme with left, right, with all right. Woo. Give me that oh yas and yas. I can totally see a choreo with this as well. Oh, so good. The ad-libs, the power notes being hit in this, the layering of the vocals, the overall arrangement to this. Everyone, what a masterpiece. Everyone, give it to Lightsum, because this was an incredible first listen. And I find it so funny now, because when we went back on UJam was, it didn't start with an intro with end of verse 1. Like, sure, some songs you don't even need an intro, you just kick it off with verse 1 into the pre-chorus, but it kicked it off with the chorus in the song. Versus Popcorn, where it had an intro, it had a verse 1, it had an outro, but yet it had a verse 3 later on, but a verse 2, then hit the pre-chorus, then hit the chorus, which the chorus was different later on, and the pre-chorus was different later on, and yet had an incredible bridge that had its moments there briefly. It wasn't that long of a duration of the bridge. I'm gonna have to go back to just show you guys what I'm trying to say. Take my hand, oh yeah, okay, right, hear this? That was the bridge. That was the bridge right there. But then, welcome back to Garrison's music class, everyone. For y'all who have heard my AT's first listen, right, to Rocky, there's this thing called an interlude. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna play with our hearts like that? Go ahead, Lightsum, go ahead. Like, I'm gonna give you the fork, I'm gonna give you the spoon, I'm gonna give you the knife, all you need, and we going to eat. This interlude here after the bridge was so beautiful. The left, right, all right with the rhyme scheme. You thought we were gonna get hit with the chorus already? No, we're gonna hit you with an interlude. Popcorn. The oh yas and yas. Oh, just hitting all the right heartstrings and stuff like that. But wow, this was an amazing first listen and a great first single album by Lightsum, and the great first 2 B-sides to add to Lightsum's discography and to kick things off, I've got to admit, everyone. So to wrap things up today for this first listen, before I even get late to my class here that's upcoming, we started with UJam. Team Full Bloom, the production team, went on its totally wasn't expecting that kind of sound from Jam, more so chant heavy with it. However, I think it works nonetheless. Actually, I think the chorus, it works. You know, the phenomenon, how it was delivered, and the amount of syllables by the individual of the production team that worked on the lyrics for this song. It is probably the most girl crush Lightsum song you can really get beyond the title tracks, I've got to admit. And I think how it didn't take time to kick off made it even better to that song. It was like, I think Jam, if I were to rate it upon first listen, it would be like a solid 8.5, I've got to admit, out of 10. And maybe it'll grow over time, just like how like Swipe did. Yeah, I think it's how Swipe did for ITZY. And then when we go to Popcorn, I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened? Like, did they like splice something up and something from vanilla and came through with like popcorn ice cream or something like that? Literally like the older sister to ice cream. I love how the synths were done in it. It was just so magical and dreamlike, more so magical. And the transitions with the percussion instruments, like I mentioned, the chimes in that particular song, the overall arrangement to it, how we got an intro, verse 1, verse 2, into the pre-chorus, the chorus, the nuances. I can't emphasize that enough. And this is what I really like, though, how the song is sort of more, I would say, melodic, not too heavily with it. I think there's a good balance, and that's what I've found about Lightsum initially with vanilla, and I really hope they continue something like this. And they don't necessarily need to work with the same genres to pull it off, I've got to admit. Knowing the talent that they wield, knowing the presence that they wield to their songs and how they can work off of each other, even though what really makes them also stand apart from other groups is their unique vocals and how they utilize their vocals. In Popcorn, in Vanilla most specifically, I've got to say. Has a great melody. I love the hooks in the song. The bridge was unbelievable. Sure, it wasn't that long of a duration. I think a good example of a bridge that surprised me was La Lisa by Lisa, actually, where we got hit by the bridge, but then we got hit with like an extra verse in there, like a verse 3, before we got hit with the final chorus. And that's what happened there with the interlude immediately right after the bridge, with the rhyme scheme going up. So I really love the tempo and all. I think, yeah, this was so title track worthy. Popcorn, it deserves an MV. It is, I feel like it's almost a crime that this didn't get an MV. I at least hope they end up promoting this song with choreo and stuff, but I think they can totally pull off a concept like Vivace, have something sleek, maybe something elegant with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can do something very elegant with it and all. I am glad, on the other hand, that Vivace sort of filled that as one vibe that we were missing for quite some time now. And I also do like how we got more of Chowon this era as well. You can't go wrong with getting more Chowon shining moments, the likes of in Popcorn and the likes in Vivace. But yeah, if I were to rate this overall album as a whole, a really solid 9 out of 10, everyone. Okay, and I think what takes away from that is just a little bit of Vivace and Jam, and taste wise, mind you. From a musical standpoint, though, it is higher than that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite B-sides. If I were to go for favorite B-sides, Popcorn, then Jam. But if I would go overall wise, Popcorn maybe tied with Vivace, or even slightly better in terms of favorite taste wise, then it would go Jam. But nonetheless, I could still see myself streaming these songs equally with each other on the loop in the playlist. I've got to admit, I'm just so glad that nothing was too jarring, like too chant loud, heavy, and noisy with it, like, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, blah 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 blah, and not too rap heavy, because I've seen too many instances where that has happened for a lot of newer groups. But then thankfully they've switched it up beyond that kind of chant trend. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps out the channel so much and just warms my heart connecting with y'all about Lightsum. This has been Garrison, though. Also, have a great day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, wherever you are, and peace.